Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, Shanu. Hi, Suhani. How are you guys doing today, this evening? I hope you guys are doing good and it's a pleasant day for both of you all. So, we're going to wait for a couple of minutes for everyone to join. In the meantime, hi, Kanika. Hi, Pavni, Mehra. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good today. So, today we're coming up with a very interesting topic. I am sure that you all aspire to become an entrepreneur. यार खुद का start करना हर कोई चाहता है. Everyone wants to start their own business. This is a very interesting topic, guys, where we are going to discuss today on what are the steps that you need to keep in mind while starting a business, while starting a startup. In the meanwhile, why don't you guys type in what grade are you all in? Kanika, Kavya, Pavni, Shanu, Suhani. Hi, Pavni Mehra. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. In the meantime, come on. Oh, wow. Shanu is in 10th grade. That's great. Kanika is also in the 10th grade. Perfect. So I am sure even Suhani is in 11th grade. Perfect. So I am sure I am doing very good, Pavni. Oh, wow. You're in the 9th grade. Great. I'm sure the exams are just over and you all are relaxing at the moment. So, do you guys ever wanted to become an entrepreneur? Type in yes or no. Like, I want to know. Wow, great. So, I'm sure Kanika must have had an idea of what it takes to become an entrepreneur. And she definitely must have some idea कि क्या करना है, कैसे खुद का business set करना है, क्या-क्या चीजें करनी है. Hi, Jessica. How are you doing? Great. So, guys, today let's step into an entrepreneur's shoes to know more of what all things that are required to become an entrepreneur. Hi, Birjraj. How are you doing today? Welcome to all the attendees who've joined. Today, we're going to discuss about how to become an entrepreneur. So we have got Pratham Sutharia, who is an entrepreneur and who's founded Immerse product, which is a virtual simulation product. And Pratham is going to help us through all the different tips and tricks that you need to start a business, right? I am sure like everyone here wants to start business and everyone here has some or the other idea. Some might have fantastic ideas, some might have even visualized it of how to execute that idea. So Pratham is going to help us do all of that. So few words from you, Pratham.
Great. Thanks, Ethel, for this. And everyone, I welcome you. Today's topic is about entrepreneurship. So, what we are going to do is I'm going to give you some sort of guidelines and some sort of tips and tricks that's going to help you with your entrepreneurial journey, right? I am sure all of you are just, I was just hearing you're in the ninth and 10th grade. But however, it's always important to just note a few things down, just understand, so that it will eventually help you whenever you start, right? Maybe it's 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, it will always help you, right? So it's important for you to understand these kind of things. Also, what can be done is, while you are so young, you could probably do a side hustle, right? Which is just start some small online store right now. Probably do like some bit of digital marketing, probably a few things. So a lot can be done even with the side hustle. So we are going to be talking about all those things right now. And I hopefully will be able to add some value to all whatever you are looking for right now.
Great, Pratham. Thank you so much for your inspirational words. I mean, listening from an entrepreneur itself who started everything from zero is great. So, all right, guys, let's get started. I'm sure you all are very excited to know कि क्या चाहिए हमें to become an entrepreneur. So, Pratham, my first question to you is that, one second. Yes.
Also, Hetal,
I
before
hope
we
you all
begin,
can see my screen.
yes, Hetal, before we begin, can we just ask what is the expectation of the students, so that then we can, I can answer
Sure,
in
sure,
those
guys.
lines
Any
as well.
questions you all have in mind or anything you all want to ask, please feel free to ask any questions, guys. We are here to answer any questions, any sort of expectations you all have, or anything that you all want to know in specific. Please feel free. All right. Okay, guys, I want you all to keep typing, keep messaging, keep asking questions here. I want everyone to be very, very interactive today because this is a very, very informative session. बहुत कुछ सीखने मिलेगा. How you can start your own business, what all things you require. All right. So, getting started, guys. I have not heard anything from you all. Any questions, please feel free. Yeah. So, today's webinar is Hustle Hard, Dream Big, Entrepreneurship Demystified. All right. And so, my first question to Pratham is like the very, very important thing here is an idea, right? We all want an idea before starting a business. Idea generation is one of the most important thing in starting a business. Guys, do you believe that, guys? I want everyone to type in. Come on. Isn't the idea the most important thing while we start the business? Come on, Harshita, Birijraj, Kanika, Kavya. I hope you guys are listening. Ritika, Shanu, Suhani. Absolutely. Yes, Pavni. It is very, very important that we have an idea because that is where the entire visualization of starting a business starts, right? So, my first question to Pratham is as he is an entrepreneur and he started everything from zero, can you share some strategies or techniques for generating creative and innovative startup ideas with us?
Yeah. So, one, I would really like to emphasize over here that definitely idea is very, very important. However, execution of the idea is much more important than the idea itself, right? So, one thing that needs to be really, really clarified is that idea is definitely important, but the execution is much more important. There have been so many times, we are just looking and we see that, oh, this startup has become so big, and then we'll think back, oh, ye idea to mere dimag mein bhi aaya tha. I had thought about this thing, right? It's not about just the idea. It's about executing that idea as well, right? So what I'm going to be telling you right now is, um, guys, the most important thing, okay, I with regards to the idea is that it should be a problem or a pain point for someone, right? Whenever you are thinking of an idea, think of it this way. Is it actually a problem or a pain point for someone? Idea in itself is not going to is not going to change everything, right? For example, okay. For example, let's say I have an idea that, you know, uh, I don't know. I have just a very, very random idea, which is, uh, maybe, I want to create a product, which is, for example, uh, to sell water, which could help in, for example, curing diseases or something like that. Is this a number one, is this a genuine problem for someone? What you really need to ensure is this a problem for someone? So for example, what you really need to do is, for example, you are in school, you go to your tuition classes, you go play somewhere. What are the genuine problems that you face while you are in all these situations, right? If you are yourself facing some problem, there are hundreds of other people who are facing this problem as well. So please ensure that your idea is actually solving a problem for someone, and it is not just a whim and fancy that, okay, some, like, you just get an idea and you feel, oh, let's make a product. It doesn't work that way. What really works is you need a problem, you need to solve that particular problem. So that's the most important thing which I would like to highlight over here.
Great.
Over
So,
and
Pratham,
above.
I mean, all these big entrepreneurs who started businesses like Ola, Swiggy, Zomato, I am sure the first thing that they did was identify the problem on how to make a common man's life more easier and more better. Right. And that's
Absolutely.
when they came up with these fantastic ideas of starting a food delivery concept, or, starting a Ola cab delivery concept. Come on, guys. Anyone has any ideas or wants to discuss something with us? And from the expert Pratham Sutharia, please feel free to type in your questions here. So, if it, I'm sure, like, हम सबके पास बहुत सारी आइडियाज होती है लाइक इवन आई व्हेन आई एम सिटिंग एंड थिंकिंग आई हैव सो मेनी आइडियाज दैट आई वांट टू डू I want to start this business, that business. Sometimes it's every day there are new ideas which are bubbling inside in my mind. So Pratham, what do you think, how can we shortlist the idea? I mean, how do you identify which one is more executable? And I mean, what is the strategy there? What criteria should everyone keep in mind while, shortlisting ideas?
Correct. So one more thing that's really important is number one, as I told you, it should be a pain point. Number two is that your market in itself should be big. Okay. Uh, for example, if you have an idea where only 100 people in the world are facing this problem, then you're not solving a very big problem, right? Number of people, number of in terms of monetary value, it should be a very very big market. If you are in a very big market, it will always be very very helpful for you, right? So number one, pain point. Number two, you need to be in a big market. Okay. Okay, let's make this interactive. Okay. Can you all give me some ideas of spaces which have a very big market?
I guess we've got Pavni Mehra, who's already given us one idea of collecting plastic waste and donating the money for furniture in schools. That's a very, very noble thought, Pavni. Amazing. I mean, I'm very proud that the youth of India, they do have such ideas which are beneficial for the environment of the world. And it's superb, right? What do you think, Pratham? Collecting plastic waste and donating the money to for furniture in schools.
Absolutely. So this is a great idea. Plastic waste in itself is definitely a very big problem. And solving it and in a way, doing social having a social cause as well, it definitely helps. So just one question. Any which particular, okay, let me just put it more simply. Do you think cabs, cab hailing, or point to point cabs, which is Uber, Ola, all those things, is it a big market? Yes or no? Can we start with that? Is it a big market? Do you think it's a big market? Okay, yes.
What do you guys
Pawan is
think?
okay.
Yes,
Almost
Shanu,
everyone is saying yes.
Ritika. Yes.
All right. Does anyone want to write why is it a big market? Just, I mean, take a guess. There's nothing wrong, right or wrong. We are all learning over here. Um, Anyone wants to like write why is it a big market, or how big is the market? Okay, let me explain you that. Okay, what I mean by big market is okay, everyone wants to save time and travel safely. Excellent. Okay, Pavni, that's a great answer. Everyone, okay, most of us want to travel and have to travel on a almost daily basis, right? And if I am solving a problem where the frequency is very, very high, I am solving a very big problem and the market is very, very big. Similarly, e-commerce, the market is very, very big. Similarly, something like Spotify, music streaming, the market is very big because almost everyone listens to music. Netflix or any of the OTT platform, very, very big. Right? So it's always important to be in a big market, right? You can solve a small problem in a big market, that's completely okay, but the market has to be big. and you should be solving a particular problem. So this is what is important. Moving on to the question that Hetal had asked, right? Which is, how do you know if your idea is good or no, right? Um, so coming to that, right? What we can always do is we can always do some surveys, right? We can go to people, ask them whether is this a genuine problem for you. That's point number one. We can do surveys, we can float surveys and understand. However, when you do that, you need to understand, are you talking to the right person? For example, if your idea is something like selling something online, and you go and talk to people who are not your audience. Okay, for example, you want to sell clothes to young people, and you go and interview and survey people above 50 years old. It's not the right thing, right? You need to go and talk to the right kind of people. That's point number one. Point number two is, what you can always do is, create a small website. Okay, let's say you want to sell something online. Okay, let's say you want to sell clothes online. You have a unique style, you have a unique design which you want to present to the world. You can always create a one page website, very very simple. WordPress, now anyone can create a website, right? So create a small website, do some bit of marketing. Okay, let's say just send WhatsApp messages to your friend circle, send do small things like that, and let people come on your website. Are people coming on your website? Point number one. If they are coming on your website, are they placing orders? Yes or no? If they are placing orders, are you able to service those orders? Are you able to deliver them? Yes or no? If you are able to do all of these things in the right manner, you have moved forward, right? So that is what is very very important. You can always have phenomenal ideas.
Right. I mean, of course, this is the way you can shortlist, right? Yes,
Correct.
that's true. Pratham, can you hear us? Yes.
Yes, I can. Sorry, was my internet uh not okay? Can you all
Yes,
hear me
yes.
now?
Now we can hear you very clearly. Yes.
Great. So what I was saying was, doing small experiments like this is really going to help you out. Okay. Create a small website, create a small brochure, create something, and see if people are really interested in that. If people are interested, they will come back and tell you, hey, for example, Pavni, right? Pavni spoke about collecting plastic waste. Let's say you go and interview school principal, school admin, and let's say after a month the school comes back and says, hey Pavni, what, I'm really facing this problem of disposing plastic waste. How do I do it? Can you help me out? If that's the response, you have cracked some idea, you have really understood someone's pain point, and they are coming to you. So that is very very critical. And this is the way you shortlist. You create some marketing collateral and just sense the demand. Are people coming to you? Yes or no? If they are coming to you, you are onto something. And then you need to, make it bigger, bigger, bigger. It's of course a stepwise thing, stage-wise thing, but that's how you always start, and that's how you understand if this idea will work or not work. Correct? You cannot spend, 20 lakh rupees on a product and then say that, okay, is this working, not working? I don't know. It doesn't work that way. All right. So yeah, so this was the answer to your question.
Great. Thank you so much. Now we know so much about how to shortlist an idea. I mean, that was very, very insightful. Uh, idea to ho gaya. Now, what is the other thing that we all need to start a business? And the answer is definitely co-founders. You cannot do it alone. You need co-founders. So now, with the co-founders, why is having a co-founder important for the success of a startup? And what are the some qualities or characteristics that we should look for a potential co-founder? What do you think?
Right. A quick question to all of you first is, do you know what a co-founder is? Do you know what a founder is? So if you can, someone can type. If not, if you do not know, okay. So Pavni says yes, Kanika says yes, Suhani says yes. Okay, so just to put it very simply, these are the people who start. They are the owners of the business. Okay, as simple as that. In the most ideal world, I would want to own all of my business, right? It's the most like that's the thought that always comes to our head, that I want to own all of my business. However, what happens is running a business is such a difficult task, is such an emotional journey, that if you have someone with you, number one, they will take a lot of responsibility, they will shoulder a lot of responsibilities. Number two, in your startup is a very, very emotional journey, right? So there will always be ups and downs. When you are down, when you are low, you need someone, who is in that journey, who is living that with you, to be there. And if someone is there, it's going to be very, very advantageous. So having a co-founder is basically needed for two things: to take up more responsibility and to be an emotional support when you need. Both the things are very, very critical. So the answer to Hetal's question is, do we need a co-founder? Absolutely, yes. Um, However, it's not a make or break. Okay. Um, Sorry, guys. My throat is really bad. So, um, it's not a make or break. Not having a co-founder is also okay, but you need to know that you are getting into this all alone, and you need to shoulder all the responsibilities, and emotionally you are going to be alone, right? And you would have always heard, right? It's very, very lonely at the top, and it genuinely is, right? When you're at the top, when you're the CEO, when you are running a business, it is going to get lonely, right? So having said all of these things, co-founders are really important, and I strongly recommend that you have co-founders. What are the qualities that you require in a co-founder? uh, so you need complementary skill sets, right? For example, you are a person who's really good at technology. Okay, you can code, you can, you know you can write amazing code, you can create websites very quickly, you can, do all of those things, right? Then you need a person who understands the business side of the things, right? Which is, um, for example, who can sell, who can do the marketing, who can get you the money, who can raise funds for you. All of these things would be tackled by the other co-founder who's on the business side. So you are someone who's on the tech side of things and product side of things. The other person is on the business side of the things, and that's how the responsibilities are divided, right? So it is very, very important to have a person who has complementary skill sets. Number two, complementary skill sets are very important. However, uh, Pavni has written, which I completely understand: trust, compatibility, understanding, all of these are a must have. Okay. If you do not trust someone, you cannot start a business with that person, right? Because it's all about trust. You are dealing with a business, it's almost like your baby. You have spent, you will spend years and years doing that, right? So you need to trust that person, and you need to have blind faith in that person. So all of these things are very, very important, but compatibility, or sorry, not compatibility, complementary skill sets are very, very critical. So if you, let's say you understand business side of things, please do not, I mean, you can, but try and get someone who is into tech, or who can build products, or who can do all of that. Then the synergy that you have together will be very, very, will be really awesome. And you all can do great things in that way.
Great, great. Suhani, what is the difference between entrepreneurship and business?
Right.
Pratham, would you like
uh,
to answer that?
Correct. So, I would probably not use the word entrepreneurship and business. Entrepreneurship is when you start something of your own, you are doing something of your own. What I would really like to tell you the difference about is, let's say a family business or a startup, right? What's the difference between a startup and a family business? So startup, for example, is something that you start. Mostly startups use technology to quickly scale. So for example, Uber, right? They use technology to get you cabs within minutes. For example, Flipkart, Amazon, they got you, if you want to buy clothes, the next day this will be delivered to you. Correct. So they use technology to solve a problem. The main thing about startup is that the growth, okay, which is number of users, the revenue that you bring in, uh, grows multifold. Okay, for example, last month I had 100 customers. This month I will have 200 customers. Next month I'll have 400, 800, 1600, 3200, so on and so forth, right? So every month, every week, I'm growing, I'm doubling. I'm growing very, very fast. That's what a startup is. Family business or traditional and conventional businesses uh, are also, of course, okay, I am not in any way biased towards anyone. Both of them have their pros and cons. Family businesses, on the other hand, what they do is they help. Uh, of course, they are solving a lot of problems. They are conventional businesses. They grow at a decent pace. They are more conventional. So, for example, trading. They are into manufacturing. They are into all of these things. So that's more of family business and versus a startup. So that's the difference that you are looking at for both of them.
Great. I hope, Suhani, that answers your question. And guys, please feel free. Any questions, any doubts, anything that you want to ask. We are right here to answer all your questions, any doubts, because definitely I want to see all of you all growing and becoming wonderful entrepreneurs. Ab, now that we've got a co-founder idea shortlist ho gayi hai, now what about the money? Right? I'm sure like you all have this question in your mind that I have decided the idea, I have the co-founder ready, I have it all executed in my mind. Now I would need a lot of funds to start any business, right, guys? So, Pratham, my question to you is when you started your journey and when you had immersed product in your mind and you wanted to execute it, what were the stages of funding, that you required? How much should one go about the entire process? I mean, what's all of this? Can you just put some light to all the young entrepreneurs here?
Hey, so let me just quickly first tell you what fundraising is, okay? To start any business or to continue any business, you always require funds. You always require money, and money is used to basically money is utilized in the right aspects to start growing the business. Once the business starts growing, the business will then turn profitable. The profits are again invested into the business to make more profits, and so on and so forth, right? um, but to get started, you will always require funds. The process of raising these funds is called fundraising. Basically getting the finance, getting the funding for the company. So basically, you can get funds in two forms: equity or debt. Okay, debt is nothing but you go to a bank, you take a loan and you start, right? However, most of the banks do not give you loans if you are starting something up. Okay. Hence, equity is the way to move forward. Equity is what happens is when you give up equity to an investor, that investor becomes a partner in your business. So, for example, if you are starting something up and you need 1 crore rupees, you go to an investor, you tell the investor, okay, this is my idea, this is what I want to do. The investor agrees to put funds into your startup. And the investor says, okay, this is your 1 crore rupees. However, I will now become a 20%, 25%, 30% partner in your business. He then has a say in a lot of things. So Imagine that this guy becomes a partner, but is a passive partner. He doesn't, sorry,
He's
he
not
doesn't,
actively involved.
he's not actively involved in the day-to-day workings of your business. Now,
It's like similar like Pratham, it's similar like the Shark Tank, right? I'm sure you guys must have seen Shark Tank, and where all of these young people they come up with these ideas, and they decide whether to invest in it or whether not to invest in it. Have you all
correct.
seen Shark Tank, guys? Come on, I want everyone to reply. Yes, Pratham, please continue. Yes.
Correct. So Shark Tank is a great example for every one of us to understand the fundraising process. It is to a certain extent like that, but not necessarily exactly like that. So yes. Uh, so basically again it's like raising funds. Now how do you raise funds, right? Initially, let's say the initial capital, some bit of money, usually the co-founders put in, which is a small amount. Once that is done, the next round of funding is called friends and family round. Okay, what happens in friends and family is I go to my friends and family and I say, I have this idea, would you want to invest in this? Would you want to become a partner in this? If they say yes, they put in the money and they become partners. So friends and family is that round. Post which you can get into your angel investment. So again, angel investment is you find people who are really high net worth individuals, and they want to take a risk. They want to put some amount into your startup. These are high net worth individuals. All the sharks that you see on Shark Tank are high net worth individuals, and they are usually, they come in at the angel investment stage. Once that is done, then you go to bigger venture capital funds, uh, and where you have Series A, Series B, Series C. The amount of funding that you keep raising keeps on increasing as you move forward, eventually leading to an IPO. IPO is when a company becomes public, and anyone then can invest in that company. So this is actually a quite complex process, which I have simplified. Um, in case there are any. Okay, so Pavni asks, can auctions be also part of fundraising? Oh, okay, that's a very very interesting question. So Pavni, absolutely. So it's not exactly an auction, but very similar to this. So for example, your idea is something that investors really love. Okay, so let's say I am an investor, Hetal is an investor, and we have one more investor, right? So me, Hetal, and one more investor, we are fighting, to invest, and Pavni only requires 100 rupees of funding. Okay. I can give 100 rupees, Hetal can give 100 rupees, and the other investor also can give 100 rupees. However, uh, I say that, okay, to give you the 100 rupees, I need 10% of your company. Hetal says that, okay, to give you the 100 rupees, she will only ask for 8%. And the last one, the other person says, okay, to give you 100 rupees, that person will need 15% of your company. So, and then people start, negotiating. So I wouldn't say auction, I wouldn't use the word auction, but it's always a negotiation that takes place, which, leads to a better deal for you as a entrepreneur, right? So that's the question. I hope I have answered that question.
You have definitely answered the question, and now I am sure, like, even I know how to raise funds if I ever want to start a business. So, अब पैसा आ गया, idea आ गया, co-founder आ गया. Now tell me, Pratham, like, how do you, there are so many competitors once I've decided the idea. For example, मैंने सोचा कि I want to start something similar to Ola. and I know that who are my competitors. Now, to stand out from all of my competitors, I need to come up with a very, very exciting price. So, can you tell me what are the common pricing strategies that entrepreneurs can consider for their products and services? And how can market research and customer feedback, inform pricing decisions for a startup?
Yeah, so basically pricing is a very complex it may look easy, right? It may look easy that okay, you have one packet of Lays which is worth 10 rupees, but how did they come to that 10 rupees is in itself a very big process. It's a science and an art, right? That goes into the whole thing. So I would say mostly pricing. I don't know how many of you have taken up economics. Is actually a factor of demand and supply, right? How many people want your product, right? And how much of your product is there in the market, right? For example, sorry. For example, Rolex, right? Rolex watches, they start at 5 lakh rupees because there are very few Rolex watches in the market. They are able to command that. Of course, there is a complete branding effort that's going into it. It's a lot of effort that goes in. Okay, no question about that. However, it's always demand and supply, and then the elasticity of demand and elasticity of supply as well, right? So that is very, very critical. However, what people do is they deploy different kinds of pricing mechanisms, right? So for example, you've always heard of the nine um, for example, instead of pricing something at 1,000 rupees, you always do 999, correct? Because mentally the customer feels that, oh, 1,000 is a 4-digit number, but 999 is a 3-digit number, so I would rather pay 999 than 1,000. Then there is a pricing strategy called penetration pricing, which is, let's say the competitors, let's say you are a competitor of Lay's, right? And Lay's and all the other chip manufacturers and brands are pricing their product at 10 rupees. What you do is, to enter the market, you price your product at 7 rupees, okay? And you say, even though you are making a loss at 7 rupees, you still go ahead and do it because you want to capture the market. Once you've captured the market, you slowly increase it, 7.5, 8 rupees, slowly increase it, and then come to your 10 rupees, right? Where you
Just
start.
like Geo, right? Even Geo did
Absolutely.
the same thing.
Absolutely. So Geo is a great example of that. They gave everything for free and now they have started charging. So that is what penetration pricing is, because you basically want to enter the market, you are ready to make the losses, and you want to, outdo your competition. How do you do it? This is the way you do it. There are also other strategies, which is skimming, which is, for example, in a market where everything is being sold at 10 rupees, you decide to price your product at 15 rupees, for example. The reason for this is that, there are some customers who value, who believe that a 15 rupee product actually means that the product is better than a 10 rupee product, right? It's a mental psychological game,
Yes.
whereas the product is always the same, but they have priced it higher. The reason for that is to create a brand in your mind, right? Okay, for example, when you buy clothes, right, you will always go and say that, okay, Zara is much better than something in Fashion Street, right? The reason for this is whereas the product could be exactly the same that they are selling. However, Zara has created that entire brand in your mind, and you would always want to go to Zara. So this is what pricing is. There, it's again a complex thing. Complete demand and supply, a lot of economics that goes, microeconomic factors that go into the micro and macro that go into the picture. Also, it's a psychological game, so it's always a learning process. You will never ever get your pricing right in the first time. it is always a learning process for any entrepreneur. Correct. So,
Um,
Hetal, 1 second. So, Pavni has asked a question, which is cost of the product. Pavni, cost of the product goes without saying, right? You have to. I mean, that's a given, right? If let's say you are selling a product for 10 rupees and your cost of producing it is uh, for example, 3 rupees, you will always keep cost of the product in your mind. That goes without saying. But yes, you are absolutely right. Cost of the product is a very important factor.
I hope that answers your question, Pavni. And great, Pratham. That was very, very insightful for all of us. And I'm sure a lot of girls were liking the word Zara. Great, great. So now that we've decided the pricing, we've got the idea, we've got the co-founder, we've got the money, we decided the price of the product. My next question to you, Pratham, is that how do I take my product out to the consumer? First of all, I need to decide that what my product is suitable for a set of audience. If I'm making something for babies, then my perfect audience will be mothers or parents. So, how do I understand this entire concept? What are the various strategies of marketing? I know it's a huge and a vast subject altogether to talk on, but if you can just throw some light and give some idea to our attendees here on how to market the product.
Yes, so marketing in itself is a very, very, very big field, right? However, just to quickly touch upon this topic, you need to, I would say, first of all, marketing is all about understanding your consumers, okay, or your customers, right? Um, for example, you build a product for young people, right? Um, you need to know where these people are going, right? For example, young people nowadays would rather go to Snapchat, they would go to Discord, they would go to, these kind of social media platforms. I wouldn't find young people on Facebook, for example. I wouldn't find them on LinkedIn. So, first of all, you need to understand that in marketing, who is your customer? Where is your customer going? What is your customer doing? What does your customer like, and then based on that you create an entire brand. If this is a B2C product, okay, marketing, I mean, it could be B2B, B2C as well, but speaking more from B2C perspective at this moment, you then create a brand which really appeals to your audiences. And that's how you do it. So marketing is about understanding the consumers and then understanding which are the channels that you can use to catch hold of your customers. So for example, if your customers are young people, they go to college, you could do, a lot of promotion and marketing in colleges. For example, if they go on Snapchat, you could do promotions over there. If they go to Instagram, you could do promotions over there. If they go on TV, you could do promotions over there. So it depends on a lot of factors, and this is what marketing is all about.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Pratham. In the meanwhile, guys, do you all know what are the different channels for marketing? I'm sure if you want to become an entrepreneur, you must have thought of something of how you want to do the marketing. Different source of channels could be advertisement, advertisement on radio, advertisement on Google, advertisement on Facebook. Can you all name some? Kanika, yes. Come on, guys. I want to know how much you all know about marketing. There's another question. Well, if someone has written a book which needs more views, how can he promote it without paying and getting over 1 million views?
Okay, let me
Pratham?
just Yeah, let me just read it. If someone has written a book which needs more views, how can he promote it without paying and getting over 1 million views? Without getting over 1 million views or without paying $1 million? Okay, Pavni, can you like
Million views,
explain
as
that.
in views which we get on Instagram and YouTube, right? Is that what you mean?
Okay.
Great.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, again, it goes back. So, first of all, you will have to understand. So, number one, I'm not an expert when it comes to marketing of books. However, what I would really understand is that for example, if this book has already been bought by, let's say, 1,000 people, okay, I would go and firstly understand who these 1,000 people are. Number two, I would go and talk out of the 1,000 people. I would go and talk to some of them to understand what they liked, what they did not like. Okay, and based on that, I will get some kind of idea as to what kind of people are liking this book and what kind of people are not liking this book. Once I understand what kind of people are liking this book, I will then go and try to catch hold of these kind of people. Okay, for example, if you know um, people in between 25 to 35 are liking this kind of book, I will try to catch hold of them. Maybe I will try to uh, catch hold of them and understand. So, for example,
Probably show your ad on a display. For example, if you know a 25 to 35 year age old student is trying to search something related to books on Google, right?
correct.
And you
So,
want them to see your ad. So that's how you do it, right, Pratham? If I'm not wrong.
this could be a method, but usually books, they don't do this kind of digital marketing. However, what could probably work out is, for example, in Amazon, when someone's typing, books for XYZ kind of a thing, and your sponsored ad comes about. That could be one of the ways. There are, I mean, for book, there are a lot of book. Enthusiasts, right? Reading enthusiasts. There are a lot of communities, societies. You can go and catch hold of them. There are a lot of influencers who influence what kind of book people read. Um, that could be another way. So again, I'm not an expert, but these are the ways that I would have gone about doing something like this.
Thank you so much, Pratham. Thank you so much. Guys, now I want to tell you all something very, very interesting, which I'm sure you would have never heard till now. So, Mindler has come up with a virtual career simulator program. Now, why am I talking about this program in the middle of such an interesting conversation that we were having with Pratham? How about I tell you all that you all can do or become an entrepreneur for 2 hours? Like in a gaming world, not in the real world, but in the gaming world, where you're actually deciding the price, actually deciding the co-founder, and y'all are actually deciding the marketing strategy you want to go for. How interesting does that sound to everyone? Come on, I want everyone to type in the chat box of whether they would like to know more about this program. All right. Yes. So that's a superb opportunity. Great, Pavni. Thank you so much. I am really glad that I can bring across this beautiful opportunity where you can actually become an entrepreneur for 2 hours and in the gaming world and learn what exactly an entrepreneur can do. So let me introduce you all to a virtual career simulator. All right, so I'll be quickly sharing my screen with you all so you all know what a virtual career simulator is. So guys, tell me if you all can see my screen very clearly. All right, so first of all, Pratham, I would like to know from you as an expert, like how can a simulator help someone decide whether they are good in that particular career or not?
Yes. So what is important is right now we've had a webinar where students have understood different aspects of entrepreneurship, right? This, of course, did not cover everything because we have shortage of time. But what is important is, if you are planning to become an entrepreneur, you need to understand that there are certain skill sets that you need to have. There are certain things that you need to have. So, for example, if you actually undertake a simulation where you understand what entrepreneurship is, and you understand the journey of an entrepreneur, what has actually gone behind, what are the emotional things that have gone behind, how did a person actually grow the business, that will just, number one, make you understand whether you are meant for it, and number two, whether will you be able to do something big, will you be able to live the life of what goes on in the world of an entrepreneur. So simulations really help in that aspect, and this could be a great starting point for you, from where you can pick up, and take up your entrepreneurial journey from.
Great. So, guys, I'll tell you all, thank you so much, Pratham, for giving such lovely insights. So, guys, what I want to tell you all, if you're confused between becoming an entrepreneur and becoming an ethical hacker, and you're not sure what you want to do, you could either want to become an entrepreneur, you're interested in becoming an entrepreneur, starting something of your own, and you could also be confused with any other career choice, because definitely starting your own business is a risk, and you would have number of thoughts and doubts in your mind whether you want to do that or you want to do this. So we have come up with this amazing concept where we actually let you be that for a day. How about I tell you that if you want to become a doctor, this program can make you a doctor for 2 hours, and it also makes you do all the tasks that a doctor does, right? Isn't that like very interesting? I would, if I was, when I was young, and if I had this program, I would try all the careers just to see how good I am, whether this is something that I want to do or I don't want to do, right? So I'm going to just take you all, just give you an overview of how the entire concept is. So we have around 10,000 students who've enrolled. We also give you a certificate at the end of this program. Uh, we give you an insightful career report, and you just need to spend 30 minutes every day, or you can spend the entire 2 hours in one day. Now, these are the different careers that we have. We've got enterprise risk management, hospitality, law, filmmaking, dentistry, architect, fund management, marketing. So we have multiple careers, guys. And we've got the best mentors who are here, who are going to help you become one, and, help you, guide you of what are all the tasks that, you have to do when you actually want to become a lawyer. What all things you do? What all things you do when you become an entrepreneur? So this is a very interesting program that we have. Shazia will be sharing it with you all on the chat, of how you can reach the website, what all things you all can do. If you all want to reach out to any of us, you all can also reach out to us. In the meantime, I'll also share the contact details. So guys, this is the contact details. You all can reach out to us here. Anyone who's joined the webinar, who has attended the webinar, gets a 50% discount on any virtual career simulator. Please keep in mind, guys, we've got more than 30 careers, and you all can go and explore all of them. If you all have a doubt, you all can contact us on this number. You can write us at hello@mindler.com. And we are waiting and looking forward to hear from all you young entrepreneurs. You all can also do all the careers here. Any doubts, guys, feel free to reach out. And it was a pleasure meeting all of you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Pratham, so much for joining today. It was a pleasure having you here. All
Thank
right,
you so much.
guys.
Thank
In
you
the
so much.
meanwhile, anyone has any questions, we can give the 5 minutes there. Any questions, any doubts, anything? So all the details are given in the chat. You all can reach out here. You all can go on the website. You all can start the free trial there. You all can see how it really works. And this is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, guys. You all will enjoy doing this. So yes, I am waiting for you all to call us. And the 50% discount is all yours, guys. Thank you so much. You all have a lovely evening. Thank you, Pratham.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank
everyone, for
you. Thank
attending.
you, guys. Bye-bye.